So it's the John and Jim show featuring Jim and John.
Howdy.
So, you lost how many pounds?
50 pounds.
And I lost 50 pounds too, so between the two of us, that's 100 pounds. That's about the size of a small person that's just gone out of our lives.
Bye.
So long. How'd you do it?
Hypnosis and making small changes. I started listening to hypnosis every day, and I started working on just literally my first exercise was walking around the block. And at 270 pounds, it was not fun. How about you?
I got started after I went to a set of meetings at the American Society for Bariatric Physicians. I thought that weight loss was either snake oil or that it was going to be very, very complicated. And all I heard was a lot of physiology and a lot of basic science. And I said to myself, well, that shouldn't be hard. So I started by, like you, walking. And then I said, well, let's see, Don Layman believes that protein and leucine really resets your resting metabolic rate. So I started changing my meal content. And then I said, well, and also I heard that we do not accurately assess our portion size.
Oh.
So I got out a scale and started measuring, and sure enough, I wasn't. Now, that didn't mean I had to go measure everything thereafter, but it was easy to learn how to eyeball more accurately. And again, little changes, tinkering with the diet, and there it was.
Well, it's kind of amazing when you talk about like serving size, because it's such an arbitrary thing, right? When they, like if you just say, for instance, you happen to order a piece of pie, in a restaurant, you know, who's to say what a real serving is, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't really know. And I know from my experience in cutting back, you go, wow, I can actually get by on much less than I thought I could.
Well, that was another part of it, learning what hunger really felt like. Certainly, everyone knows about automatic eating, but I hadn't really noticed the fact that I would get up and eat breakfast because that's what I did at that hour every morning. And I never stopped to ask myself, am I really hungry right now, or should I wait a bit? It's not that I would skip meals. Rather, am I ready to do this now? How much do I want? Should I wait a little bit and eat a bit more? That sort of negotiation with myself. Mm-hmm. But tell me, how do you use hypnosis on yourself? Do you look at yourself in the mirror?
Look at myself and say, sleep now. No. Well,
He probably did.
Actually, I had some recordings that I had had around for years, and I just started listening every single day. And that's what really made the difference. And it just sort of, it's so funny because I'll tell you, like, my first year at least of taking the weight off, I was still eating, honestly, Jack in the Box tacos, really. I was eating all kinds of fast food and everything, not as often, because all I did is I actually added more stuff, good stuff in, so I started eating more fruits and vegetables. And it just sort of, the hypnosis just sort of reinforced that, and it's kind of a weird thing because you're in this place, at least I was in this place, where I thought I had to have ice cream every single night.
Huh.
And then suddenly I'm going, maybe I don't need it every night. And now it's, I don't even remember the last time I had ice cream.
And when did you listen to these recordings? Did you feel you were entranced when you were listening to them? Or did you play them in your sleep? What did you do?
A variety of things. And, the whole idea of trance, some people will have a really kind of interesting experience. They'll feel like they've gone kind of like what we consider under. Mostly it just felt like being relaxed. I'd listen to them sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes right before bed, just press play and go to sleep. And it's just sort of a gradual change over time.
Now, from what you said, it sounds that you really like Jack in the Box tacos?
You know what? It was a weird thing with the Jack in the Box tacos. Like, they're disgusting, but delicious too. I don't know.
Sorry, Jack. Don't take that
right.
personally, really.
And a lot of those things, it was just, also the other part of that is I started becoming more aware, and that was the part of like what's going in the food, and started actually thinking about what's going in the food. And then, of course, McDonald's had that whole pink slime thing come out. And
That will do it.
and combination of things, I just sort of went, I had some maybe a year ago, and couldn't even finish them.
Boy, isn't that the case. I've noticed that I have a hard time eating out these days because my tastes have so changed. I did not set out to change my tastes. Mm-hmm. It's more like I started actually tasting food without making any effort to. This was all started as an intellectual exercise. Mm-hmm. If I was going to try to pass the obesity medicine boards, I thought I'd better find out if any of this stuff worked. Because I wasn't going to go through all that trouble and memorize and learn all of these techniques if I didn't know that they would actually positively affect people and help them lose weight. And when I graphed out my weight loss, it was a perfect straight line. Over 5 months, 50 pounds, 10 pounds a month.
That's fantastic.
Just click, click, click. And I never felt like I was depriving myself in any way. And I haven't had any urge to change my eating, and I haven't regained any of the weight for the same reason. What I did was not go on a diet. I started paying attention and said, what do you really want? What do you really like? Are you enjoying this? That was an easy formula for changing eating habits forever.
Nice. Were there problematic? Did you have any Jack in the Box taco type foods?
I thought I did until I started tasting these things. For me, it wasn't so much, I really love those, as, cheese was a big thing for me. And I started actually tasting what I was eating and said, I could take this or leave this. And then since I was looking at what I was eating, I said, all right, I build my plate around the protein in it. I'm not going to be a strict no carb. Complex carbs are fine. But the cheese, that's mostly fat, so that's mostly calories. Nothing wrong with that if you really like it. And I said, well, I could live without this fairly easily. So I wonder what it would have been like if I had your recordings.
Right, no kidding, yeah.
Did you do any of this? I know you're on the paleo diet now. Did you do, or paleo type diet, did you do a lot of this nutritional assessment also and calculating out?
In the beginning, literally, my biggest goal was, I said, 3 or 4 times a week, I'm going to walk for 5 minutes, I'm going to meditate every day for at least a minute, and I'm going to eat, this is embarrassing, at least 2 fruits and vegetables a day. That was it. Now I eat 8 or 10 fruits or vegetables, not tacos.
So
there was no...
Here he is offering a weight management program that requires you to meditate 1 minute a day, walk a couple of times a week, and eat 2 fruits and vegetables a day.
Right.
Do we know people who can't accomplish this?
That's the thing, is people think that they've got to be there right, and they've got to be perfect right now. And we have a saying here at the center. I won't go into it, but we have a saying about that being perfect. Just do it, right? It's, you start off small. I mean, if I would have tried to eat 8 to 10 fruits and vegetables in the beginning, it would have been really tough. Now I don't really think about it. I just do.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's kind of funny. People think that they have to change everything overnight when really it's just this slow evolution. And it really is. It's fairly easy. It's not that tough to just add a couple of fruits and vegetables, go for a walk a couple times a week.
No, this was really painless for me also. And if I can do it, anybody can do this. Trust me in this, because we're not talking about someone who managed to do this by extreme effort. On the contrary, I wasn't even aware. I did not set out saying, I'm going to lose 50 pounds. I said, well, let me see if any of this makes any difference. And after a couple of weeks, I said, well, I could keep doing this. I wonder how far I could go. The reason I stopped after 50 pounds is I said, well, that's enough. Let me do other things. I know I can do this. I can lose more if I want. But it was effortless all the way through. That's the takeaway I'd offer people.
You know, it's funny you say that you weren't really trying to lose weight. For me, I didn't think I could lose weight. I really didn't. I thought it was going to be impossible because I had this, I just loved all those just horrible foods. And I didn't think there was any way I could ever stop. And I mean, I still have some of the stuff. It's just I don't have them as often. I don't have as much.
The accidental weight loss program. Even if you don't intend to, you will anyway with this plan.
Because it's about focusing on the actions, not that end result. Because anybody, like you say, can eat a couple of fruits and vegetables, go for a walk a couple times, and maybe meditate if that's your thing. You can do that, and if you do that, you're going to be successful.
Fair enough. Well, that's been our experience. We'd like to share it with you. Thanks so much.
Thanks.